Say no!
No! Tyranny!
Our advantage is Governor Sununu. Our advantage on Senate Bill 1, which is an income tax in the state of New Hampshire, is Governor Sununu. Today, the message that the House and the Senate wants to send to the governor is, we're with you, Governor, on all your vetoes, Governor. We're going to stand with you. This is Governor Sununu. Wow! Wow! A little overwhelming. This is great. You guys, you know me. I don't write speeches. But you got me so nervous. Look, it is awesome to be here. First and foremost, thank you to the New Hampshire, the Granite State taxpayers for putting this on. This is just absolutely awesome. And I got to tell you, I know it's a lot of thanks to Sununu and all that. Okay, let me tell you something. What Dick Hinch and Chuck Morris have been doing, meeting with me day in and day out, working on the legislation, making sure I can't do this alone, not even close, but making sure that the Republicans, especially, and even some of those conservative Democrats, they're with us, and they're going to stay with us. And one of the most important parts of that we're talking about here today is, so it's not about us. It's not about party. I've already talked to Democrats and independents in this crowd today. This is about New Hampshire. This is about the Granite State advantage. This is about not just pride of culture and heritage. It's really about remembering for 250 years, New Hampshire has done it a little bit different. We've done it a lot different, frankly. And the fact is, we're a lot better than everybody else. Look, times are very good. Times are really good right now. There's no doubt about it. Economically, in terms of personal freedom, what the Republican-controlled legislature in 17 and 18 did to set us up for long-term success is unbelievable, and they deserve all the credit in the world. Why do we have the lowest unemployment rate? Why do we have the lowest poverty rate, some of the highest personal income in the country? It's because we believe not in government. I'm the governor. I'm telling you, it's not about government. I'm telling you, it's about you. It's about families. It's about businesses. It's about individual freedom. Look, we stand on the shoulders today. Let's remember where we've come. The responsibility previous generations have carried. The Sherm Adams, the Mel Thompsons, the Stiles Bridges, and all the citizens that supported them. The responsibility isn't about the next year or the next policy. That's what the other side is doing. Our responsibility is 5 and 10 and 50 years down the road to say we will not let an income tax come into our state. We will not let our personal freedoms be infringed upon. It is what separates us and frankly what makes us so much better than everyone else. Why is it that families are moving in here from Connecticut and New York and New Jersey? Right? We have to remind them what the New Hampshire advantage is all about.
Exactly.
Somebody came into my office recently and said, maybe we should really start considering, doing more on the tax side at the state level to lower property taxes. That's not just a bad idea, it is a failed policy time and time again across this country. Why would we ever copy those states that are trying so hard to be like us? Right? I guess my point here is really, we know what the New Hampshire advantage is. We know the values of limited government, local control, and low taxes, individual and personal freedom. But when times are good, sometimes it's easy to forget. It's easy to forget what got us here and the responsibility that we have to carry forward, not just as elected officials, but as citizens. Are you talking to your friends and neighbors? Are you talking to them about what's going on here in Concord and how we are really on the precipice of something very dangerous. We're just going to become like everyone else? Are you kidding me? Look, the Democrats, and I'm going to talk a little political right now if you don't mind. But unfortunately, this ultra-liberal elitism, this progressivism out of Washington that we pushed back upon. We did things the right way in 17 and 18. We worked bipartisanly, we found agreement, we found compromise, we kept our economy strong, and we kept personal freedoms championed. But all of a sudden, come 2019, all of this ultra-left-wing progressivism isn't being held out at the border. In fact, it's being embraced. It's being embraced here. Concepts that we never thought possible here in the state of New Hampshire are going to land on my desk. I mean, let's just keep going back to the income tax. When was the last time a legislature had the gall to put an income tax on the governor's desk? How about never? Never. Why would we do it now? Our economy is absolutely booming. We have so much opportunity at this level to invest in programs we need to and still cut taxes. The model is proven. The model is proven. I know you guys are a little bit cold. To see hundreds of people out here on a gray, cold day, I cannot thank you enough. It really shows that the people of New Hampshire are behind us here in the State House. I want to tell you a couple quick stories. So, about 3 weeks ago, I was in the State House, and there was a group of young people. I'm going to say between the ages of 20 and 23, there were about 200, 250 of them. They were in the Reps Hall for an event. And I went in and I spoke to them about a couple different things. And then I said, look, can I ask you something? You know, we know a lot of this progressive socialism is coming kind of from this new, younger generation. And I said, I just want to ask you, I don't understand it. I'm a pretty young guy. I'm no longer the youngest governor in the country, but I'm like the second youngest, so it's good. But I said, do you realize you are the first generation in the history of this country asking for more government, asking for more control. Historically, the younger generation said, we want government off our back. Get the man away from us, right? We want individual freedom and personal responsibility. We don't need the government telling us what to do. But I said, for the first time ever, you're the first generation to say just the opposite. I said, do you think more taxes is not going to come with more control? You give the government more of your money and more of your control, that is less of your path that you get to choose. And the room went silent. I mean, dead silent. I think a light bulb started going off in some of their heads. And then a young woman in the back just very quietly said, that's a good point. And everyone laughed. But it was true. And I realized, again, sometimes we take it for granted that we assume everyone understands what the advantage is about, that what personal freedom and responsibility is about. This is a generation, and all of us live in now a world of snippets and sound bites. You got to take the extra 22 seconds. Spend time with your friends and your neighbors and your families. Because I will hold the line here in New Hampshire, but let me tell you, the House and the Senate will be won back. And it will be won back. Person to person. Here's another funny story. That same group of young people, not the same group, not exactly the same group, but about a week ago, a group of young people, about 30 of them, most of them paid volunteers of the Democrat Party, all came to my office to give me a pen to sign SB1, the income tax. Now let me tell you, now here's the funny part. So they bring in all these pens and they quietly put them in a box and quietly go away. Again, half of them were probably paid staff. I don't think there's a lot of passion there. But I think the message is getting through because I couldn't help but notice, no joke, they were all red pens. They gave me red pens, clearly asking me to veto the income tax. So let me tell you, I heard you, Ray Buckley, and I will veto the income tax. You've heard me say it all the time. Live free or die. It is not just 4 words on a license plate. It is who we are. It is how we govern. It's how we live our lives. And it defines the essence of how we will fight to keep the New Hampshire advantage. Thank you guys very much. Work in your communities. Let's get this message done. Thank you guys.
Got your back. Croc TV.